Don't talk about rest, I sleep when I'm dead. Motherfucker wanna come through tripping. Listen, I'm a ribbit, I'm a kung fu kid. Tell them I'm ready if you want it.
Welcome everybody to TruExact Show. I'm here with Travis, and our guest today is Crocodile Cam. Honestly, he's got a snake on his head right now, something I'm terrified about. And I saw him on a show, Just Animals podcast, with our friend Ellie. I reached out to Ellie, and I was like, I really want to get this guy on. So you were nice enough to share your information, and we got in contact. Now, Cam, I have to ask and tell Travis how funny it was how we connected. So I got Cam's email, and he sent me his phone number. So I texted him that day, and I was like, "Hey, Croc Cam, it's Scott." And we do the TruExact Show, blah blah blah. He didn't respond, and I'm like, maybe he's busy feeding his snake or catching a crocodile, doing wildlife things they do in New Mexico. So I'm like, this is weird, because he emailed me back. I texted him again. "What's up, man? Reaching out." Then I sent you another email. "All right, I texted you," and you go, "My bad, I gave you the wrong number." So some random person woke up with an iPhone and thinks that I'm crazy. Yeah. Just, "Hey, what's up, Croc Cam?" And they're probably like, "Oh my God, I'm deleting my phone number." So anyway, thank you for that, Cam.
So sorry. When I responded, I was at work, so I was rushing to email you back. I was excited that I'd gotten another opportunity to come on another podcast. So I'm sorry, I was rushing, but we were able to get it figured out.
Absolutely, and honestly, this will be the first of many. I think that seeing your videos and seeing your engagement on Twitter too and Instagram. Cheers. You have a lot more coming. Just don't forget us small timers like Ellie and I. When you're on, is Jack Hanna still around that show? No, he's not around.
I have people. I have people compare me to him all the time. So yeah, he's definitely not forgotten. I don't know if he's still playing, but he's not forgotten at all.
Okay, I just remember as a kid waiting for Sunday football to come on, and I had to watch him on ABC feed kangaroos and koalas or something. Yeah. I was scared shitless. Anyway, I digress. Enough of this introduction. We'll get to more fun stuff at the end. I'm taking up your time, and I feel bad. Cam, give us a little background about yourself. I still can't get over you're playing with a snake right now, but give us a little background about yourself, how you got into all this stuff.
Okay, cool. So can you guys hear me? It froze a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
We're good. Okay, cool. So, name's Cameron Browning. I'm going by Crocodile Cam. This is Medusa, a reticulated python, longest snake in the world, and the only species of snake that has ever eaten a person.
That's good. I'm glad you're just playing with it casually.
Yeah. But yeah, so born in Rhode Island, raised in Georgia. Went to Butler University in Indiana, played football there, transferred to New Mexico Highlands University, and that's how I ended up in New Mexico. Got into animals because of STEVEIRWIN, the crocodile hunter.
Nice.
Awesome.
I probably would still like animals, but I wouldn't be doing this today if it wasn't for him. So huge shout out to him.
How old, if you don't mind my asking, how old are you? Because he passed away in 2006, I believe.
So I'm 24 years old, but I was watching him from 3 years old before I could really even understand what was going on, all the way up until he passed. And then, to be honest with you, I have both. I own his Crocodile Hunter movie that I'll watch every once in a while, and I go back to watch his episodes regularly. I use it as inspiration for different things that I can do. Just to remember why I'm starting. Why I started doing what I do. My goal is to educate people as much as possible on the beautiful animals of this planet, but also on how to preserve and protect them, because there are so many animals that people see regularly that are actually endangered or on the brink of extinction, like tigers, for example. We may see tigers go extinct within the next decade or 2 decades because of poaching and habitat destruction. Yeah. So that's really why I do what I do, to just educate people. And hopefully aid in animal conservation and preservation.
Now, two things. One, you didn't think at any time watching, like, what's this crazy white guy doing wrestling crocodiles when you were a kid? Like,
No, it was more so of I need to do that.
okay.
There was no negative thoughts. It was, oh yeah, that's what I want to do.
And two, you going back watching the Croc Hunter is exactly why I go back and still watch 8 Mile, because that inspired me to start rapping.
That's such a good movie, man. I love that.
Right. Unfortunately, I was more Cheddar Bob than Jimmy Rabbit. So it is what it is. But I'll get to Trav in a second. But you said, like, that's what you wanted to do. How did you go from football, playing college football? Like, obviously that means you were playing at a high level in Pop Warner, high school. Did you always have this in the back of your mind? Like, while you were playing football, like, you were studying animals, memorizing certain stuff, and were your teammates like, buddy, we got a game. Like, what are you doing?
So, no, that isn't what happened. So I did play at a pretty high level. I was, and this was in Georgia. So I was all state, ended up being all American, and then played at Butler, which is a FCS Division I. So I definitely had to perform, but the animal stuff, it was always just like a hobby. I actually wanted to be a personal trainer and open up my own gym for the longest. And, I would still go out. I'd be out for hours, just in the woods by myself. Yeah, literally just looking for, deer tracks or snake sheds or all types of stuff. And then I would just come home dirty with mosquito bites, and I wouldn't say anything about it. But after I finished my last season of football, I was given a ANC combine invitation. So I went, gave him my all. Just wanted to see if I could have a shot at the next level. Things didn't work out that way, and I really just got into animals. I was working on a ranch where I was around animals all day, and whenever we would see rattlesnakes, I'd go catch them with my hands.
I mean, me and you couldn't be more different. Like, honestly, like the fact that you were a D1 football player, and not that, but like I was leaving the woods, you were going in them. You were scratching the bites for fun, and I cried during Anaconda, and you wanted to catch venomous snakes. I mean, go figure. God damn! So you were just catching them with your hand, like?
Yeah. So I have a video. And then if you want, I know you said you'll edit it, but I can send you the video of me grabbing the rattlesnake, just grabbing it.
Okay. If I can't edit that in, where can we see that? Is that on your YouTube channel?
So it's on my Instagram and Twitter. But again, I can also just text it to you. Whatever works.
Do that. Yeah.
But yeah, I have a video where I'm just grabbing a rattlesnake. Like, this is how it's done. 3-foot rattler, pissed off at me, rattling, 100 shakes a second. But I love that kind of stuff. I'm waiting for it to warm up because I have a buddy who is he's studying snapping turtles. So there will be videos of me jumping into rivers and coming out with snapping turtles, trying to take my hand off. Go ahead.
So Cam, what is your current day job right now then? Like, is it just this Instagram thing?
I wish. No, so I currently do security at a state government building.
Okay. So it's like nothing related to animals. You're just funding the hobby. Okay.
That's what pays the bills. But I am really starting to make a little bit more money with animals and just teaching people about them.
Right.
Hopefully I get to the point where I can make this my main thing. But I understand it takes a lot to get there. So I make time when I can. And it works out really well.
Now, when you grab this, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on you going into just grabbing a rattlesnake. It just seems crazy to me. Like, how do the dangers do they even cross your mind? Are you like, okay, this could be bad, as you're doing it.
What's the worst thing you've been bitten by? Because you surely have been attacked by something.
Did something ever backfire? Is what Travis might be asking.
The most dangerous thing that I've ever been bitten by was a dog.
Yes, I hear that actually is the most dangerous. Yeah.
But I mean, she's bitten me a couple times. I've been bitten by other snakes. No venomous snakes. But I will say, if you are ever bitten by a snake, it's your fault, because snakes don't want to bite you.
Right.
When I'm dealing with a rattlesnake, I'm 100%, realizing that while it's slim chances that I'll die, I could lose a limb, I could lose a finger, and, depending on how this goes, my whole life could be changed. That being said, while it looks very reckless, I am always very, very conscious of the space that I have between me and the rattlesnake. I am conscious of how I'm going to handle it. And I'm also conscious of how long the rattlesnake is, because the small ones, I'm very hesitant to even grab those, because it's easier for them to bite me. If I grab the tail, there's so much less distance for them to turn around. The big ones are a lot easier to handle. So yeah, I mean, it looks really reckless, but the whole thing is very, very calculated.
Well, yeah, I would imagine you have to be, or else, like you said, your life could change. With the worst part when speaking to someone like you, no offense, is you see the difference between like a man and not a man. Like things you do, it's like you're out there grabbing snakes, and the most like risky thing I did this week was put 4 eggs in my omelet. It's kind of like complete yin and yang here. Like my wife, hey babe, I'm putting 4 eggs in my omelet. Cam's like, so I grabbed the rattlesnake this week. I'm like, oh okay. Which leads me to a question, and you could be very hesitant if you want, or just give like you're a football player in college, and you do this. What has landed you more success, if you know what I mean?
This.
Okay. That okay. It was a question I told my wife I was going to ask today too. I am asking it like, okay.
And
see, kids, go play with snakes. Yeah. Don't play football.
Oop, he paused.
Oh, he'll kick back up. I'll edit that out.
Can you guys?
Damn, you paused. Yeah, you're good now. Yeah, go on.
No, I was saying, the thing is, it wasn't intentional. The football part, kind of, especially being a Division I football player. With the animals, it was truly, I want to educate and entertain people.
Okay.
There was no ulterior motives, but a lot more came from that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. You don't got to get into details. And you know what? My money would have been on that too. Yeah. But like seriously, because there's not many people who have the balls to grab a rattlesnake. There's a lot of football players. I'll say that. Yeah. Travis,
so I gotta ask. So, as a wildlife lizard dude, as yourself, is the penultimate goal to get on I wanted to say Johnny Carson, but like Jimmy Fallon
we're really showing our age here, Travis.
but like to be on one of those talk shows as like they're like once every 3 months, wildlife dude, to like get your message out.
Yeah,
like,
so that is the one of the ultimate goals. My ultimate goal is I would like to own with either a zoo or an animal sanctuary where I can have people come and be educated and entertained about, on all of the animals around the world. I don't want to exploit animals, and that's why I say an animal sanctuary, because they don't buy or capture animals out of the wild. It is all basically rehoming animals that were either illegally, possessed or just needed a better place to be. but that is the ultimate goal. But if that means I get to go on Jimmy Fallon, or I get to go on, SNL, all types of things, I would love to do that.
Well, here's a start. You're on the TruExact show, and that's important enough, right?
Hey, and I need to make some reappearances as we both continue to grow. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and I'm never touching that thing you're holding. Although I will say, if I ever come out to New Mexico, is it possible you could show someone like me how to catch a rattlesnake, or would that be too dangerous?
So it depends.
My wife's gonna be like, "Do not do that. You're not doing that."
So it depends on the time of year, because right now, the rattlesnakes and the turtles, they're underground. They're brumating, which is like hibernation, but for reptiles. But if you came when it was warm, I could take you out, and my only deal is I need you to record me catch it, but I can literally walk you through how to catch one without being bitten.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I get bitten and die, it'll go viral and you'll make millions of dollars. So it's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
And I also have your wife trying to kill me, so I don't want to do that.
So I got a relevant story for this. So I'm an occupational therapist, and I did an internship in Arkansas for 12 weeks. And during that 12 weeks, I picked up mountain biking because the geography out there is beautiful.
Yep.
And while I was mountain biking and figuring that out, it was end of summer, beginning of fall, and that is diamondback mating season. So there was one time I was biking and going around the trail, and I saw a couple of them on the side. And then I saw one, I almost went right into him about 15 feet away, hanging from a low, bush tree branch kind of thing, just hanging there menacingly, ready to, jump me. And I guess, so tell me how much danger I was in and how, if I absolutely had to get past him, what I would have to do to get past a pissed off mating season diamondback.
So 1 in 600 people bitten by rattlesnakes die.
Oh, that's
okay.
So you likely would not have died.
Oh, there you go, Trav.
And because while rattlesnake venom truly is no joke, and for anybody watching, leave rattlesnakes alone. Don't bother. But,
so for you 13 people tuning in, listen to Cam.
Leave them alone. But while rattlesnake venom is no joke, it is geared to kill what they eat, meaning rodents, birds, lizards, things like that, smaller animals. So if it was going to kill you, they would have to put a lot of venom in you, and you would have to be really unlucky.
Okay. But I could have lost a limb or something, right?
That was the next part. You absolutely could lose a limb,
right?
Fingers, all types of things. That being said, if you would have gone past that rattlesnake and just stayed 3 to 4 feet away,
which pretty much was what I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It may have tried to strike at you, but it probably couldn't reach you. And it also probably would have just rattled its tail.
No, he was pissed. He was he was rattling there. He was fucking he was ready to fucking go. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, they don't want to bite you, and they don't want to inject venom into you because it requires so much energy to make more venom.
Okay, noted.
So, and as messed up as it sounds, you probably wouldn't have been worth his time.
Yeah.
He may have struck at you just to say, hey, get back. But it takes a lot of energy for them to produce venom. So, a lot of times, they may give a dry bite or may not give a lot of venom.
Another reason why I don't do anything active. I don't go on bikes or go into trails because I don't want to get bitten by snakes. I'm in a nice little comfort zone here. I have a 2-block radius I go around, and then I just wave hello to the neighbors and walk my dog. Cam, with the crocodiles though, so we've touched on snakes. Like, how hard is it to where you're from? I don't know how prevalent they are, but how hard is it to interact with crocodiles and actually study them? Or I know you don't wrestle them, but you know, be around them to do what you love.
So there's actually no there are no native crocodiles in America. Those are
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the only place in the world where you can find alligators and crocodiles together is in Florida. And the only place in the United States where you can find crocodiles is in Florida. Everywhere else in the United States, it's alligators. That being said, there are none here.
Okay.
Unless I go to the zoo, which I'll go to the zoo by myself and just study different animals. I won't be interacting with them. That being said, I have interacted with large monitor lizards, which are basically just land crocodiles or land alligators. Okay. They have very sharp teeth. They are to an extent venomous, and they will really mess you up if you don't know what you're doing. Excuse me. That being said, while I have not interacted with any crocodilians, I have interacted with large monitor lizards, and the best thing to do for non-professionals is to leave them alone. And if you are truly trying to catch one or deal with one, stay at the tail and be very ready to let go of that tail and move, because they can get back to their tail very quickly. I do plan on going to Florida this summer and visiting the Everglades. Depending, and again, you have to go about this the right way. If I'm able to get a permit and everything, I will be interacting with them, whether on a very up close and personal basis or from a distance. But out here, outside of the zoo, there are no crocodilians.
Honestly, I didn't know there was no native crocodile. Seriously, that's pretty informative. I never even knew that. I assumed they were just anywhere alligators were.
Yeah. What's the main difference between the two? Because they get used so interchangeably.
Yeah. So while I understand most people really wouldn't care if you come, face first with one, you're gonna just basically crocodiles, they have a more narrow snout. And alligators have a round snout. Alligators are also a lot darker. Again, if it matters.
Yeah, you're just.
I'm not going to sit around long enough to study. Like,
it's like, it's an alligator. It's fine.
Exactly. If you see one in the water, it doesn't really matter. Get away. But So alligators are usually pretty a lot darker, and then alligators are also in the Americas. Now, once you go to Africa, that's where you start seeing Nile crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, which are the largest crocodilians in the world. Getting over 20 feet.
That's just a dinosaur.
Over 1,000 pounds. The saltwater crocs have been documented killing sharks. So you'd have to go out of the United States for that. Unless you go to Florida, then they're an invasive species which someone got and let go.
Yeah. I've seen the movie Lake Placid, which we'll touch on later, by the way. It is going to come up later in the episode. I want to know your take on it. But Cam, I was actually, Croc Cam's a cool name. I was going to go by Sloth Scott because I'm not particularly fast, but I don't think it would have went over well and I would have got bullied. So I kind of did not go that route. Plus, there's no other cool animal that begins with an S. I felt like could have, it didn't work. Snake Scott wouldn't have worked like that. So how did you just come up with the nickname? Were you just like, I like Crocs and my name's Cam, CC, Croc Cam,
Yeah, so I didn't come up with it. Was
it a girl at the bar? Oh boy, let's hear the story.
No, I actually don't drink or smoke, but I was posting just nonstop animal facts on Twitter.
Okay.
I'd post my snakes. I'd make all types of videos. When I still worked on the ranch, I'd catch all types of animals, whether it would be kinds of lizards, giant centipedes that are 5 to 6 inches long, or different kinds of snakes, and I'd make videos and post them. And people would say like, "Oh, you're like the Black Crocodile Dundee," or they would say, "Oh, this is like Jack Hanna." And then somebody, I can't remember who, and I really owe it to them, but somebody said Crocodile Cam, and I was like, I like that. So
yeah, it works. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, and as soon as they said it, just more and more people started going along with it, and that's when I changed my acts, and I was like, all right, yep, Crocodile Cam.
Just to touch on what we did earlier, you know what I knew Cam cleaned up, if you will? When you posted on Twitter a few days ago, will the pretty girls who wear glasses please post pictures? Travis, there was about 25 comments of girls posting photos with glasses on. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I was wondering what kind of tail you're pulling as a Black Crocodile Dundee dude, because it's probably a very specific ratio of women that are like super into that.
Oh yeah, man, and see. Yes, you're right, but it wasn't intentional.
No, and that's what's cool.
No, you're super authentic in your passion here.
Cam, I don't want to touch on that. It's going to be off air another episode, but you're from Rhode Island. What's your opinion on New Jersey's? Have you ever been there? Just curious.
When I lived in Rhode Island from birth until 2 years old, so. And I still go back, but I was never up there long enough to really travel.
Okay.
That being said, I have played with a couple guys in college who were from Jersey, and they were pretty cool. So, yeah, no bad things to say about Jersey.
I always like to get people's take on what they feel about the state when they're not from here. Now, animals, you're a big animal lover. Ace Ventura even hated bats in the movies.
Yep.
Is there any animal? See, I like everything except black licorice. Can't stand it. So is there anything you don't enjoy? Like, guys, like, oh my God, I have a phobia of that. I really can't fuck with that animal.
Yeah, so there are no animals that I'm afraid of. And I made a video about this trying to tell people you don't need to really be afraid. You just got to respect them, because animals really just want to be left alone. That being said, there's one animal that I hate with everything in me, and it is female mosquitoes, because those are the only mosquitoes that actually bite people, and I hate them. And that's it.
So you'd be okay with mosquitoes just getting wiped off the face of the earth?
No, well,
the ecosystem.
The thing is, there's multiple species of mosquito, and only one species actually bites people. So I'd be okay with getting wiped out, but the rest, we kind of need them because they're food for other animals.
What's the biggest crisis right now with any animal? Like you say, you want a sanctuary and a preservation. What's the one? I know you mentioned tigers earlier. What's the one animal that is very? I'm new to this subject. I'm very indifferent to it, mainly because I'm not that informed. I don't pretend to be informed. I don't like animal cruelty, but I don't know enough about. Ellie brings up the kangaroos in Australia, and I don't know enough to sign a petition. So like, I'm not gonna sit there and falsely act like I do. You're I would say an expert at knowing the groundwork. And what's the one animal that's really in dire need of like help out there?
I would have to say probably the few remaining rhinos there are in the world. If not them, probably I know mountain gorillas are really endangered. I know I'm pretty sure that there's a kind of leopard that's really endangered as well. And cheetahs too. All of those animals that I just listed, we like truthfully could see them go extinct in our lifetime. And that is because, the jaguarundi, you know, that one is extinct in Texas, and there's only a couple of them left in Mexico. But they are these animals are becoming endangered and reaching near extinction because of us, because of poaching, because there aren't strict enough penalties for poaching, and then also because of habitat destruction. Habitat destruction is happening worldwide, and you know it's because, one, more people are being born, so you know you need space for people, but we're also just being kind of careless.
True.
And yeah, so that on top of, you know, poaching and the illegal pet trade, it's not helping the animals out too much.
Really quick too, not that I never really like to get political on the show, and I won't. But how does whoever's president or the government affect conservation, or are there bills passed by certain people in charge that help out a little more, or what gets taken away or has been taken away that could be done better through local leaders or whatever?
Whoever is in power, and this really goes for Democrats, Republicans, literally any government. Whoever is in power has the ability to say, like, we are putting very strict guidelines on this.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate part is money talks a little bit louder than that.
Yes.
And there are way too many people in security positions who are protecting these animals, or who are supposed to be, you know, providing the punishment for those who go against these rules, who will turn a blind eye for the right price. And they're just, not enough is being done to protect these animals that are very important species. I'm talking about predators that keep, you know, certain animal populations under control, and then also prey species that, you know, provide for those predators, and keep different plant populations under control. It truly needs to be like the most severe possible punishment if you are caught.
We've talked to a lot of shark experts on this show, probably 8 to 10, and I'm still pretty good friends with a couple of them. And they're very adamant that it's not that they're against certain cultures and what they eat. They understand fishing has to be done, but it's the overfishing that's taking out the sharks. You know what I mean? So I think you understand that, okay, some animals have to be used as resources for humans, but it's the what's it called? Not over hunting or over, for lack of a better term, nonsensical, or I'll come up with it, but you get what I'm trying to say? I will come up. Irresponsible. It's the irresponsibility of it. There we go. See, 10 tries and I got it. I'm not editing that out because I'm proud I reached the goal. I will not edit that out. The irresponsibility of what is being done. Maybe, okay, I have to go shoot a deer, but you just take a machine gun and kill 20 when you only needed one, something like that, you know?
So, and I'm sure the shark experts would agree with me. Mm-hmm. Sharks are going through it. It's bad. Like you're seeing videos of tiger sharks coming into the shallow water, like where their bodies are becoming exposed, trying to catch a couple fish because there's nothing else out there.
Correct. Yeah.
And I've thought of a couple solutions. You know, I don't know how feasible they are. You know, whether there could be, you know, literally fish farms for feeding the populations. But, you know, then that can kind of get into animal cruelty, depending on how it's done. But, you know, one way or another, and again, I'm sure the shark experts would agree, you know, something has to give.
Yeah.
Because the animals they can't help themselves. You know, they have no other option but to eat what's in the water. And when, you know, when their food is starting to come closer to where people are and there's nothing else where they usually stay, now they're coming towards people. Now humans are in danger, and now those animals are in danger.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and there are some sharks that are a little bit more likely to attack a human, but I personally don't believe that any shark really wants to attack a person. I think,
No.
we're in their home and we sound like a struggling fish, so we sound like their food. So now they're trying to see what's up.
It's also why I don't go in the ocean, because I don't sound like one on purpose. I just can't swim well, so I flop around like an idiot. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But Cam, oh, by the way, the Kittner boy kind of deserved it in Jaws. Just throwing that out there. He was out there rafting. Like, you don't need to be that close. That's why when I go swimming, Cam, in the ocean, I stay like in front of people, because if a shark comes, they're probably getting eaten first, and I can get to shore. So if I hear a scream, I'm gone. But I do have a quick lightning round for you before we let you go, because it has been like 35 minutes, right? Which is crazy how fast this went. And Trav, you have any last minute things to ask him?
Yeah. So
Go for it.
I guess this was about 10 years ago now, but you're a childhood hero. You're into Steve Irwin. I'm into Power Rangers, but you're into Steve Irwin at that time when you're 6.
Little different.
Yeah. So day Steve Irwin dies. I mean, like, he gets just freak accident where he just gets stung by a stingray, hits him right in the heart, stops his heart. How you feeling that day? Like, how much did that impact you?
Man, so first, I do want to say I'm a Power Rangers fan too.
Oh, rest in peace to the Green Ranger. He just passed away. Just throwing that out there.
So very big Power Rangers fan. Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder were my favorite.
Okay, so later in the game.
Yeah. But the day that I found out, I still remember to this day. My mom, I don't remember what exactly I was doing. I was probably messing with my sister, but my mom called me in my parents' bedroom, and she sat me down. She had a little bench at the base of their bed that was facing the TV. And she sat me down and she was just like, Cam, the crocodile hunter died. And I was in first grade.
So 8 years old? 8 years old?
And I didn't accept it at first. I was like, well, what do you mean? And she was like, he's not here anymore. He died. And, at that age, it's kind of hard to understand death.
Yeah.
And,
totally.
Yeah. So she basically told me that there weren't going to be any more crocodile hunter shows because he's not alive anymore. And I just remember being so lost and confused and honestly just hurt because I didn't really understand it. And for a long time, it was almost on-site beef with stingrays. But I realized, and this this happened in me rewatching his shows. He did a segment on stingrays.
Yeah,
and he talked so positively about them, and I was just like, all these people are like, oh, it's forget stingrays forever. He wouldn't want that, He knew the risks, and he would still want us to protect these animals. So
when he passed away, I was in freshman year of college, and I did an informative speech in speech class about the crocodile hunter. Just because he passed away, it was called "Say It Ain't So," Steve. It was like literally a month or two after. Also, he was a pioneer, man. These shows today, Naked and Afraid, Man vs. Wild, they would not be around if it wasn't for him. He was ahead of his time. He was so ahead of his time.
I'm so sorry. She just peed on my foot.
Oh God, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, I'll clean it up after. Let's keep it going.
Okay. I didn't even know snakes could do that. We should have asked how they urinate. Where does that come out of? The tail?
So, literally. Here, I'll pull her off. So it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a little flap right under.
Okay. So it's like 3/4 of the way down.
Yeah. So that's where everything comes out.
Okay.
And everything goes in when it's that time.
Gotcha.
Lives.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, and I actually think she may go again, so I'm gonna keep her off of me. But basically, it's oh, yep.
Oh, there you go. That's exclusive shit coming out of a snake's.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah.
That is amazing. This
That's
is gonna
enormous.
be.
I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah.
I might vomit, but I'm not editing that out.
Whoa!
I'm so sorry.
Look at that.
How? So, when was the last time she ate? So, like, how long's that been going through the system?
Yeah. So
Anybody who's listening in their car, you have to come watch the video on YouTube and fast forward to this part to see the amount of shit a snake could extract from its flap.
Yeah. So
and ruin someone's carpet as well.
yeah. So, and this is my second biggest snake. My biggest snake.
Oh.
Her feces literally looks like piles of dog crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
I thought it'd be.
God.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought. I just thought it'd be pellets or something.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But we touched on how you felt when Steve Irwin died and how sad you were. So Travis, when the Green Ranger died 2 years ago and you were 34, how did you feel?
I mean, it was lit. So you remember, like, my dad died like a month before he committed suicide. Right. And I was bombarded way more on social media about Jason David Frank dying than I was thinking more about him dying than my dad just passing, because it was just so much more in my face.
Yeah.
I could show you in a sec. I got like Megazords and like the toys still over here.
Christ.
One of my buddies got me a blanket of just like the Green Ranger and Jason David Frank on that.
We'll save your toys for another episode.
Yeah, whatever.
Trav. I'm really willing to touch on those.
Today.
Yeah, yeah. But Cam, at least you had the cool Power Rangers, the Dino ones. We had nerdy Blue Ranger Billy. Oh, he was such a dork. Everybody in recess, nobody wanted to. I chose to be the Pink Ranger over Billy because I was like, she's tougher than him at that time. You know?
I think moms loved Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course they did. And boys never wanted to be him. You wanted to be the Black Ranger or the Red Ranger, and you were always stuck with Billy. Or it was just like, I was like, oh, this sucks. I'd rather be Trina. You know? Sorry, Billy. It's just that's how we felt as a young kid. All right, so we've seen the snake shit, piss. Cam, you've shared a lot, man. It's really cool. Exclusive here. But if you've never seen a snake extract feces, now you've seen it. I never have, but wow. I mean, that was something else. So, go on. Say? I've never, it was something else. Seeing the snake do that. I've never thought I'd see that in my life. But hey, it's the first time for everything. No problem. It was awesome. Cam, quick lightning round. You ready now? Okay, so no joke. You hopped on around 9:10, and I wrote these down at like 9:02 or 8:58. So these are just a straight freestyle written off the dome. You just pick one, throw one out. Here we go.
Cool,
the movie Anaconda or Lake Placid?
As a favorite or like that I don't like?
Pick your favorite.
Lake Placid.
Okay, sorry, Anaconda. Ice Cube just wasn't enough for you in that one. Couldn't hold it. Congo or Jaws?
Oh, Jaws.
Poor Amy. You know, her talking didn't do enough for you on that one. The Crocodile Hunter movie or Crocodile Dundee? I think you'll go with the
Crocodile Hunter. Easy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't anticipate the beginning of the show here. Piranha 3D or Jumanji?
Ooh, Jumanji. Easy.
Yeah, you got to go with that one. Piranha 3D was horrible. The Jungle Book or The Lion King? Got him.
All right, for music, Lion King. But for just visual, pleasingness, Jungle Book.
Yeah, I'd go with The Lion King because Scar was awesome, and I feel like he was just misunderstood. Kung Fu Panda or Over the Hedge, if you've never seen Over the Hedge. You seen it? No? Okay.
Yes,
Kung Fu Panda?
Every Kung Fu Panda movie. Masterpiece.
Okay. Dr. Dolittle or Snakes on a Plane? The good Dr. Dolittle, not that shit one with Robert Downey.
I would have to go, even though I don't like what it did for Snakes on a Plane. Just because.
Oh, right. I thought you were gonna go Eddie Murphy, Doctor Dolittle.
Yeah, just because of Samuel Jackson.
That's an underdog right there. That really is. Okay, shark would you rather have the largest fish tank in the world or the largest tank in the world?
Wait, the largest fish tank or the largest what?
Tank. Just tank. Like military tank.
Oh, tank. Easy.
Yeah, I agree. If you had to own one Pokemon, which one would you want to own?
Oh, Toxico.
All right, I'd go with Bulbasaur. Would you rather win a Super Bowl or be the best activist of all time?
Do I play in that Super Bowl? Like, am I like the?
Yes, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you don't break your leg.
Interception. Or no, you're Malcolm Butler. You have the interception.
Okay.
Hey, that hurt because I'm a Seahawks fan, so that hurt a little bit. But dang. So either Super Bowl or animal rights activist.
Yeah, the best but you're not the best player in the NFL ever. You're the best activist in the world, but you win the Super Bowl while playing. What would you rather have?
I'd have to go animal activist. At this point, yeah.
Smart move. Yep.
If I could have a legacy, my goal is to surpass what Steve Irwin did.
Respectably.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Because I wouldn't be here without it. But if I could do that, I will have achieved a lifelong dream.
Right. I'd probably go with the Super Bowl because I wouldn't touch a snake, and especially after seeing it shit on my shell, I 100% wouldn't even go near it. If you had a crocodile, what would you name it?
Ooh.
Cameron Jr.?
No, I don't know. I'd probably, honestly, I'd have to name it Steve-O.
Oh, or Irwin. That's a cute name.
Yeah, Steve-O or Irwin. That's the first one. I'd probably have to come up with some better names.
Okay, so if me and you were hanging out, not at a bar, but just watching a football game somewhere, and I saw a hermit crab leave its shell, how would you react and would you leave if I turned to you and said, hey, now he's just a shell of himself? Would you leave?
I'd laugh and say you're an idiot.
Okay. All right, you played football. Tony Romo or Eli Manning?
Eli Manning.
Yeah, I think Tony Romo was better. You'll never convince me otherwise. All right.
This is an inside joke.
Now, I made a list, Cam. You ready? I made 2 lists. I want to know your thoughts on these. I have the 5 worst things associated with Crocs. Okay? And I want to know how you feel about this. Number 5, the saying, after a while, crocodile. That's number 5 and the worst things. Number 4, the crock pot. Nothing good ever comes out of it. Nothing good gets made from it. Not a fan. Sorry. Number 3, the movie Lake Placid. I told you we'd revisit it. It was an awful movie. Number 2, the footwear. Crocs. I can't stand them. Maybe I'm from a different era. I don't understand how people wear them. There's kids who play basketball in them, and it does nothing but bother me. That's number 2. Yeah. Number 1, Ray Kroc. The guy who stole McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers. If you've never seen the movie The Founder, that guy is pond scum, huge piece of shit. So that's the 5 worst things. Now, I don't want you to think I'm all negative here, Cam. I also have the 5 best things associated with Crocs, okay? Number 5, the recent movie with the lovely Shawn Mendes, Teen Dreamboat, Lyle Crocodile. Fun movie. I watched it on a plane home from San Francisco. Number 4, there was a board game growing up. You may be too young for this. It was called Crocodile Dentist. It was a glorious game.
I used that for my job, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Number 3, the saying, what a crock of shit. Nothing really comes across as good as that. You know what I mean? It's just, what a crock of shit. It's so good. It just works. Number 2, the croc hunter himself, Steve Irwin. Now you may be asking what number 1 is. Number 1 is Elton John's song, The Crocodile Rock. That song is one of the greatest songs of all time, and you can't help but move your hips to it when it comes on. Maybe showing my age, maybe showing how nerdy and white I am. I don't care. It's a phenomenal song. Cam, do you have a problem with any of those on the list? Be honest.
My only problem is crock pots. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Okay. Very good, but it depends on what it is. I've had some like barbecue meatballs from a crock pot.
That sounds pretty good. I think I'd like that.
Yeah, or I got people who make pulled pork in crock pots. And
that maybe I have to move it. Maybe you could send me some food or ideas, and then I'll try it. And the next time we talk, I may have a new list, or it may be number 5 instead of 4.
Yeah,
I'm a little stubborn. I don't.
Honestly, everything else, Crocs, the shoes, I used to hate them. I hated how they looked. I despised it, and then I wore some, and I was like, these are really comfortable. And
I hear nothing but good things about them. I just can't bring myself to do it. I will not allow it. I would hate them on purpose because I just am like that. I would make it my business not to like them. It'd be great if they reached out and they wanted to sponsor the show, and I'm wearing them next week. Wow, these are amazing.
Look like
that. I could be bought in a heartbeat. I am at that point in my life. Please.
Everything else I'm cool with. I was saying everything else I think I'm all right with.
All right, awesome. Cam, really quick before we go, tell us where we could catch you, your Instagram, your Twitter, and YouTube, things like that.
Cool. So Twitter, Crocodile Cam, Instagram and YouTube, Crocodile Cam _. I'm on TikTok as well, Crocodile Cam _. Where you going, girl? And yeah. I do travel. I've been booked to travel to other states for different reptile shows and stuff like that. I plan on traveling this spring and summer to do some to get some content dealing with the wildlife in other states. So yeah.
That's cool. Hell, if you're ever in New Jersey, let me know, man. Message me. We'll meet up. It'll be a blast.